Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. Child, I am sorry I am late. Listen, okay, I needed to take some PTO. Okay, so I needed a personal day off. Okay, but we are back with the foolishness, and we are back with BET presents the Encore. And child, just when I thought, okay, this episode might give a little zhuzh. They may not argue all the way up and through. I was sadly mistaken. Child, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. If you are new here, then welcome. If you are back for a second or third time, then welcome back. If you have not yet subscribed, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel, like and comment if you get anything out of the content. Now, child, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. So we back with the mess and these nasty rooms. I was like, y'all really need to clean up. I mean, my God. Okay, then we hear Keely talking about these heifers and the de-evolution of the girl group. She's like, it's falling apart. Okay, there's favoritism, there's jealousy, there's fighting, and now these heifers are counting each other's lines. Okay, moving forward. Pam and Misha are talking in the kitchen, right, as Pam washes her hands for 40 minutes. Was it just me? Pam was Pam gonna follow those CDC guidelines if she don't do nothing else. Pam was washing her hands for like 3 consecutive minutes. I was like, okay, honey. Pam said, I'm not about to let y'all make me sick. I know that's right. So anyway, Pam is looking at Misha and she's like, girl, that dress is beautiful. Okay. It was such a comfortable mommy dress. That's all I got, honey. That's the drop your kids off at school and run a few errands on your day off dress. But girl, go ahead on, sis. Encourage each other. So Misha apologizes to Pam for the foolery the night before. I didn't see that. I don't know if it was edited out. I don't know if I put my head down. I don't know if I went to go get a Coca-Cola. I'm not sure what happened, but I didn't see that part. So Misha, she tried to come in and let her know. She said, listen, I'm very sorry about this. And she tried to go in for a hug. She was like, I know, don't hug. You better know, honey, no physical touch will be tolerated. Please do not touch Pam. So Misha said, I didn't think about it like I should have. And Pam's like, it's all good, girl. We all good. You my sis, I'm your sis. We good. So then Felicia comes in talking about, y'all was beefing last night. Yeah, they was beefing last night because you and your little doppelganger caused strife. That's why. So Felicia gets in her confessional. She's like, Misha likes to argue so she can, get out what she has to say so people can listen to her so she can apologize later. Sounds familiar. Girl, anywho, I know you ain't talking. Ain't that the pot calling the kettle, calling the pot, calling the kettle, okay? So Pam said, I'm excited about the listening party. And Aubry comes in and sits down to talk to her while she's eating. And so Pam, she's like, asks her, she said, are you excited about who's coming? She's like, no. So then she's like, I'm excited. So Aubry said, you think they both will come? If they both come, I'm going to be so jealous. Well, Aubry, honey, it showed. You were definitely given some kind of vibe. I'm not sure exactly what kind of vibe it was. So Pam said it's going to be scary because it's been 4 years and she just straight cut them off, right? She said, Aubry, they may have gotten somebody from your band to come. You don't think so? Aubry's like, no, I don't think so, honey, and we don't think so either, okay? But Pam is so optimistic because Aubry's group members aren't too fond of her. Now, I thought Dawn was cool with her because, they did that music last year. But it's looking like it's a hell now. So Pam said, people gonna always talk whether you're doing good or whether you're doing bad. So Aubry said, she can actually take hits and what others have to say because she's done it before. And she said her predictions of the listening party is that it's going to be subpar at best, okay? Because it's not the best that they can come up with. And she's not looking forward to it at all. And she made that very known at the listening party. And she wants them to judge her based on what she's bringing to the group. And she feels like she's getting bazookaed. Honey, when I heard bazooka, I said, what? Not bazookaed. Honey, when I hear bazooka, I automatically think about that gum. Y'all know the gum, the bazooka gum. Child, am I aging myself? Probably so, but honey, whatever. Because I'm still popping. She feels like the twins are, running her over. As they are, okay? But she did make a good point, though. She said the twins have set it up where they do everything. If it's for the group, then they need to create a group sound. Honey, in all honesty, Y'all are the twins' background singers, honey, giving very much doo-wop, shoo-wop, wop, wop. I'm just telling you. Y'all are the background singers. I'm just letting you know right now. She's like, if they keep up this foolishness, she's going to have to back off, and then they can get as many sales as Cherish did. Oh, child, honey, the shade. But then, as I was watching, I want y'all to go back and freeze frame to their rooms. Let me tell y'all something. I have never seen a bigger group of nasty adult women in my life. I can't even leave my house for the day without making my bed. It's given very much I put back on the same underwear from the day before, honey. It's disgusting, child. It's just a side note. I was looking at that. I'm like, what is happening? So then Sita comes up and she's talking to the ladies and she tells them there's going to be some surprise guests that will be there for the listening party, and it's people they've worked with in the industry before, right? Felicia's like, yeah, I need to gather my good wig, honey, because I don't work well when I act up. And she's nervous because she doesn't know who will be there. Honey, nobody for you. Moving forward, Misha is like, the listening party snuck up on us. Now, honey, y'all had ample time, but you were too busy smoking Newports and fussing and fighting with the twins. She's like, I feel like there's some things left to mix and master, but it's all on the twins at this point because they decided to be in charge. So she wants to see how freaking Frack are going to do. Can we please retire the name freaking Frack? Good God, honey, I'm so sick of hearing that. Child, they gave it to Phaedra and them over on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and people will not let it go. So then they go down to the studio to see if they're going to sing the songs and in what order, right? They start naming the tracks, but Cosign accidentally took one of the songs with him. Fallon feels like Cosign wants to produce a song that's not their sound, and Felicia's track sounds much better. I mean, it is a bop. I'm going to have to go and give it to her. So all the girls agree that Felicia's version is better and he doesn't need to touch it, right? So they play Go Don't Leave, but I felt like it should go, okay, because it was giving nothing, giving very much flat. Told y'all, honey, I told y'all review number 3. I was a little iffy on what the producers were doing and whatnot, honey. Y'all gonna start listening to me. I'm just saying, honey, I knew when they just put their backpacks on, and we haven't seen Elijah since. Honey, Elijah argued with the girls, and Elijah has not been back. Elijah said, I ain't got time for this. So everybody starts showing up to the listening party. Brandy, which is Shamari's other member of her group. And I was like, Brandy is so pretty. She is so pretty. One thing about those girls from Black, baby, they done kept that youth. When I tell you they don't look day over boom like in 808, honey, they look like they just stepped on the scene. Yes, I love to see it. So then Jazzy Faye shows up. It's a Jazzy Fizzle, product shizzle, my nizzle. You know Ronnie gonna show up. Ronnie shows up with all the flowers and balloons that he could find, honey. Ronald, it's not Valentine's Day, honey, but I love to see that you stand for your wife. Baby, let me tell you something. The DeVoes, they love each other. They see each other. Honey, shout out to Nene Leakes. Baby, that is a couple that's gonna stand for the other. Okay, I'm just saying, child. It's been that way since I've known about them as a couple. They love each other, and I love seeing it. I love seeing all the group members, but I noticed that no one was there for Aubry, and at least the twins have each other. Moving forward, Aubry doesn't feel like they've created one sound, right? And she says that the music will show it. That's what she's saying in her confessional. Irish is like, I'm so happy to see Mila, because they were fussing and fighting all up and through 702. She said, I was a background singer in 702, and I want to show people, what they didn't get to see of me back then. Girl, nothing? What? Girl, please, honey. It's given very much they made the right choice. I'm just saying, honey, moving forward. So then Kima comes up to Pam, because, that's one of the other members of Total, right? Pam was ready to hit her with the elbow per the CDC guidelines, but Kima was like, girl, give me a hug, honey. Baby, Kima went right on in for the hug. And at first I was thinking, is Pam going to let her hug her? Interesting. So Pam and Kima, they hug, and she tell Pam, I really care about you. I miss you. I love our friendship. And she wants her friend back. And Pam said, I know she was hurt that she left Total because God was calling her to a different path, and she didn't take it well. And of course, she blocked them on all social media. So there's that. So then Keely and her mommy Moo get up to make a speech, and we hear Felicia saying, her other sisters didn't show up. She's like, my other 2 sisters didn't show up. We know they had some things to do. Mm-hmm. Child, you two probably ran them crazy. They probably do not want to be bothered and or associated with anything that you have to do, honey, because it's the two of you. And y'all always fussing and fighting all up and through. So then they start playing skeletons, right? So as soon as they started playing it, Jazzy, Faye, and Ronnie were like, nope, nope, cut, cut, cut. And Nivea's like, oh, I hope they don't stop the rest of the songs. It's going to take us forever to get through this. And I'm thinking to myself, they just being extra, honey. We'll find out after this commercial break. And now a word from their sponsors. After they do that, and we're back. Here go Mr. Placement. We need to see a show. We need to see who's singing what. Now, I actually did agree with that. Because I'm like, okay, I'm going to need y'all to get into it as y'all get into it. Because y'all are just playing the songs, but whose vocals are we hearing? Because if it's a little scratchy, I don't want to take credit for that. I'm just saying, if it was me, I would be like, okay, Nivea, that's you. Okay, Aubry, you're a little bit flat on that. That's you, honey. I don't want them thinking that's me. But that's just me. So then they play God Only Knows, and Pam was hitting us with a little bit of a praise dance. I'm like, okay, honey, praise and worship hour. As Pam is singing, Aubry over there looking stank, honey. She ain't got no money in the bank. She be walking around acting all stank. Honey, I'm sorry, that's just the first thing that came to my mind. Came to my mind when I saw Aubry looking the way she was looking. So Nivea said, I don't know why Aubry looking like that. I like the song. They sound great, and Aubry is on there too, so I'm just confused as to why she's looking like that. She needs to push through and not sit around making faces, especially when we're presenting in front of other people. Aubry need a little G-O-D. Okay, that's what she need. Okay, I'm not understanding why you're looking the way that you're looking in front of these people to let them know that there's some foolishness going on. You never act brand new in front of company. You act like everything is okay. Now, if you have something to say, wait until after, but don't sit there and make faces. Girl, anyway, that attitude is why there is no one there for you, Aubry. Child, let's just be real. Aubry wanted to be in charge just like the twins. If she had been lead or had more input, then she would be fine. But because it's not her idea and it's not things that she came up with, then she does not want to be bothered. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. That song, it gave me chills. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, okay, this is really something, honey. I love it. I hope they really put this out because I really do actually like that song. I like a little gospel every now and again. So Kima runs up yet again for another hug. Honey, I know Pam want to jump out of her skin. But she respects her and she loves Kima. So she's like, you know what, girl, go and get your hug, honey. She don't know the mother heifer, so that's why she don't let them touch her. Then they play talking. I see you, Nivea, honey, with the moves. Listen, Nivea is so dope, especially after I got her backstory after watching that interview she did with Candy. Baby, she is everything. After all she's been through, to have such a positive and fun, loving spirit. Baby, let me tell y'all something, execs, honey, if anybody happens to come across this review, because I know y'all be watching the reviews to see what we out here in TV land think about what you're producing. We need to give Nivea her own show, okay? A show, a look at what's going on inside of her home with her kids, you know, from her struggle. We need to see things from her point of view. She's entertaining, she's funny, charismatic, and I know she's going to give us what needs to be gave. Moving forward, that's just a side note. So then they play that, and as they're singing, Irish is in her confessional saying, I'm embarrassed. I came here for a super group. Why are you embarrassed? Is it because you don't have any lines? Since you and Aubry feeling the same, maybe y'all can team up and form the group Irish Aubry. Honey, girl gone. Honey, I don't have time for this. It's getting ridiculous. Mila is like, you know, we've been through a lot. She gives this little speech. But she's happy that they finally have the opportunity to shine. That was so sweet, Mila. Good job. Of course, Felicia says, this is my song, because they're getting ready to play the next one. And it represents all of us, this, that, and the third. And then they play Bird's Eye View. So Misha gets up to sing her part. And Misha, okay, you didn't know the words. Okay, because I was watching you as you were mouthing it and you did not know the words. Misha, get it together. Irish, this is why you should be embarrassed, honey, because your sister don't know the words to the song they just created 5 minutes ago. Misha, girl, you need to practice, honey. Practice makes perfect. So everybody said they love the songs in the end, but Aubry was like, no, it sucked. We have not created a group sound yet. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. Y'all only have 5 minutes to get it together. So therefore, and thus and such, the people loved it. And child, the consensus is y'all gonna go with that. Over on the other side, Pam and Kima sit down, right? And she's like, how is it that you're here? I get the solo stuff, but you're here creating a super group when you were already a part of a super group. I know that's right. Let me tell y'all something. I would take offense to that too. You ditched us to create a group with random other women from different groups. Now, I know it's about the coin and the exposure and, Pam saying God led her there. But if I were Kima, I would be a little perturbed myself, honey. Maybe next season you can come, Kima. I don't know. Talk to Todd and them on your way out. So Pam said, nobody really supported her leaving total, but she had to do her own thing. And they have a real heart to heart and they come to terms with her decision. Mila, Irish, and Misha are having a moment on the other side, right? Saying that they need to get some 702 necklaces made. Seeing everyone's group members made me want a 90s tour. I think we should do 702, Escape, SWV, Total, Changing Faces, and Moke and Steph. Honey, we can leave Cherish at home so the tour can succeed, okay? Aubry and Stone, they're over there talking, and she said that Cinnamon was nasty to her. I don't remember that. She said that the vocals were flat and that they needed to be fixed, but I don't remember her being nasty to you. Aubry, you like to lie a little bit, girl. We're going to have to get that little lying problem together. So back on the other side, Mila and Irish and Misha are over there talking, right? And Irish starts talking about the beef that they're having in the studio. So Mila was like, oh, this is house business. Okay, let me just sit back, honey. Yeah, just sip your wine, child. Don't even worry about it. You already escaped. You survived, Irish and Misha. So just sit back and relax, honey. She was like, who was singing the most? Talking to Misha. She was like, Shamari. And so Irish said, yeah. And she was saying, I don't got no parts. I don't sing either. Irish, why are you mad at her? She didn't write the song. She didn't say, this is the part I'm going to sing and y'all ain't singing nothing. I'm not understanding what okay. Mila is like, oh, okay. She just listening. Child, Mila probably having flashbacks of these crazy heifers. Child, oh my goodness. Irish is like, yeah, this is why I left the group. Okay, let me just say this. I'm convinced that these ladies just like strife. Y'all had a good day. You did what you needed to do vocally. Let it go, child, honey. Let it go. Like, what are we arguing about now? So Irish is like, I'm not singing, because they were saying they were going back down to the studio. She was like, I was embarrassed. I only had 4 lines. Misha's like, I'm fine, honey. Misha looking over there like, child, look, they finally let me say something, and I'm not messing it up, so I'm not about to be fussing. And Mila was looking like, have you heard you? I had this same problem. Have you heard you? So later that night, the ladies are in the kitchen, and Misha tells them Irish still isn't feeling included. And Shamari said, she feels for Irish and can see why she's not motivated to be a part of the group, because she only has 1 or 2 lines here and there, and she wouldn't be happy if it was her either. Well, Shamari, Irish needs to work on her vocals. She should be constantly warming her vocals up. She should be singing throughout the house. She should be downstairs doing something to strengthen that muscle. So I don't feel bad for Irish. I'm sorry. I mean, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Aubry says she's trying to figure out if she should take more bullets from the twins, right? So she's like, look, I don't want to put out this cool or mediocre music. I want to put out some bangers, right? And nobody's listening to her. She couldn't unify the group. She's tired of being bossed around by the little children. And she's like, look, I wanted to make a decision that made a point. Her group sold way more than Cherish, so they need to put some respect on her name. And just like that, she was gone. Aubry said, you may hate me, but it ain't no lie, baby. Bye, 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 bye. Shout out to NSYNC. Baby, Aubry is gone, honey. Deuces. Child, I'm done. The next morning, Keely is walking around looking for Aubry. Now, I didn't understand this. Why are you looking for Aubry? For what? I was just confused by that. I was confused. So she running around looking for Aubry. She finds Nivea in the kitchen, right? And asked if she had seen Aubry. Because even though she hasn't slept in her room for 4 days, all of her stuff is gone. So she thinks she left, right? So Nivea was like, I thought I would be the first one leaving because she couldn't stand it and she would have to flee the scene. I'm like, not flee the scene, honey, like you robbed a bank. Nivea said, I thought I was going to have to flee the scene. So Nivea is just sitting around looking like, can anybody leave? I mean, because this is just ridiculous. She was a part of the group and a part of what we've done vocally. Pam comes in. They drop the news on Pam. And Pam's like, what now? She was like, she was a vital part of the group. Listen, Y'all can sit around and try to figure out where's Waldo if you want to, but quiet as it's kept, Keely is happy as hell. She couldn't stand Aubry. Okay, so this is her chance to be the creative director that we knew that she was not. So, I mean, she could really kill this. So, Keely continues to fake look for Aubry, honey, because I ain't buying it and I ain't changing it. And she goes over there to the twins. Fallon, of course, could care less. She's like, unless it's a medical emergency, she's being dramatic. She was dramatic before she left, so I'm not empathetic towards her. She's like, I'm not falling for it because I'm smarter than her. I'm sorry. But these twins, honey, this whole thing, child, oh my goodness. So they break the news to Shamari or whatever. She's in shock. In the studio, they're recutting the songs, right? So Shamari and the other ladies are reminiscing about Aubry. I don't understand why y'all doing that, child. Y'all didn't care when she was here. So moving forward, honey. So Shamari goes, where's Cosign? Felicia's like, he don't need to be here. I'm like, oh, child. So what he do now, honey? Now what he do? Child, it's just something wrong. It's something wrong with those twins. They really need to get, they need to be hooked up to one of those machines. You know, not the EKG machines, but the ones where they hook up to your brain and see your brain patterns and your wavelengths and all that, because something is wrong with them. Felicia's like, you know, I've been doing his job and I'm not feeling the respect from him. What is he supposed to be saying to you? Y'all are producing two different songs. You're producing your track the way you want it to sound, and he's doing his track the way he wants it to sound, based on what you've written, and he was hired to be the producer. Now, if you took it upon yourself to produce, then that's on you. Now, these are just my opinions. So then Aaliyah, Cinnamon, and Cosign arrive, and they tell them that Aubry is gone, right? So then they play Bird's Eye View. Cosign's like, stop it, stop it, stop it. Felicia's like, don't stop the song, Cos. He's like, it's the wrong version. She's like, no, it's my version. She's like, I'll tell you when it's the wrong version. He's like, calm down, kid. So she's pissed he stopped it because she produced it. So when he said, calm down, kid, here go Keely. Don't tell her to calm down. I hate that little toxic masculinity bullshit. It's not cute. Girl, he was telling her to calm down because she was getting hyped for no reason. There was nothing toxic, no toxic masculinity about that. Now, this is just my opinion. And honey, hush. Honey, that dress you're wearing in this confessional is not cute. Girl, shut up. Oh, Keely getting on my nerves. I know you want to create an alliance with the twins, but you are too big and grown and old to be trying to back someone up just so they can befriend you. Honey, stand on your own too. Stand 10 toes down. One thing I can respect about Aubry is she did not let them heifers tell her what she was and was not going to do. Keely, take notes. Girl, hush. And to his defense, he didn't know y'all were using that version because he was, sent there to produce. She's like, how dare you tell the rest of us in this room that your version is the version that we're going to use? Because he was under the impression that that was the version that y'all were going to use. Child. So as he's playing it, Shamari is jigging to it, right? And he's like, does she look thrown off? Felicia is like, I'm thrown off because the bass is too loud. He's like, but she's dancing to it. Felicia said, and I'm trying to figure out where I give a F. Oh, child, they are so unprofessional. If anybody in the music industry is watching this show, which I'm sure that they are, no one is going to want to work with you and your sister. Y'all are so unprofessional and catty for no reason. You need to learn how to vocalize what it is that you're upset about, instead of just lashing out every second of the day. She's like, yesterday, that's the version we played. Well, honey, he didn't know that. He was not in attendance yesterday. She's like, don't have an attitude because you were late. He's like, you have an attitude. She's like, I don't have an attitude. You got an attitude with me. Do y'all know the definition of attitude? Okay. She's like, you gonna show me some respect. I've been doing your job. So then they start arguing back and forth because she feels like he isn't working. He's like, it's done when I say it's done. He's like, I'm the producer. She's like, no, I am. He's like, okay, we're the producers. Okay, because he's still trying to be, a little bit respectful. Here comes Keely. She's the producer in this house. And don't effing call me shorty. Keely, shut up. Girl, hush. Now what you mad about? You need to be worrying about your own title or lack thereof instead of trying to back her up and give her a title. Girl, be quiet. He's like, you better check my Wikipedia page. Well, they do be lying sometimes on Wikipedia. Like Wikipedia get it wrong sometimes, but I understand where you're coming from. So then Felicia is like, I'm not about to have a contest because I have BDE and I'll let you have it. Honey, that's not cute. Let me tell you something. It's okay to be strong in your convictions, but when they treat you like a man and not a lady, you gonna be mad. So you kind of got to be careful with, slanging your big member around, okay, and saying how much you have BDE, because some of these men are not as respectful as Cosign was. Now, I personally think he didn't get too out of line with Felicia. She started in on him first. These are my opinions, okay? He could have been calling her all kinds of obscenities and really getting into it as they got into it, but he tried to remain respectful. And I appreciated that. Felicia's like, you either going to be a team player or a chauvinistic bastard. I don't feel like he was being chauvinistic, honey. Lady, listen. You started before he even got there. You had an attitude. The problem is you and your sister want to write, produce, direct, sing, choreograph. Then when someone else tries to do anything, you get mad. Honey, it's ridiculous. It's a whole bunch of ridiculousness. We are now at the end of the episode and we're still with the foolishness. Child, I do not know how this is going to end up, but child, we are almost to the end of the road and we're still going back and forth and back. And now I'm starting to see that although Fallon is the mess maker, Felicia's mouth, baby, that thing is a lethal weapon. And that was the end of the episode, y'all. Please do not hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.